We're ready? Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Public Works Committee meeting on Tuesday, June 24th at 2024 at 2:30 p.m. We are holding this meeting remote, and present today is Councilman Vincent Pelizzi, Sean Walker from the Recreation Commission, Bill Scott, our city engineer, Janice Frank, our city clerk, and Chris Black is our IT person. And I don't know if I missed anybody. Hold on a second. Let me see. No, I did say Scott Livermore. Okay. So I guess
Did you
that's
get
it.
Bill?
Yes, I got Bill as the city engineer. And I didn't say Scott Livermore from Streets and Parks. Okay, the first item on the agenda, and these are all discussion issues that we on council, and you people all probably all get this too, is what's going on with different departments. And Sean, I'm going to hit you first, okay? Because with summer here, the pool, the splash pad, and so on and so forth, would like to know what's going on in that area. So I'm going to leave the floor open to you.
Okay, so far as on the recreation side, this past weekend, we had the pool at Memorial open and also the splash pad, both of which ran well. There's some fine tuning this week to get ready for our big opening this weekend for both of them, and they'll be going 7 days straight. Next event on the recreation is Monday will be the first day of summer camp. We are 50 kids in summer camp this year with some new lead people on the summer camp, but a lot of help from AmeriCorps and other agencies to help out with summer camp this year. So our summer camp is stepping off very well as our splash pad and our pool. And then our fourth event here, recreation, is Homemade Days, which is June 21st and 22nd at Brandon Park. Right now, we are at probably 33 vendors for the Homemade Days. So we are also looking good for that event also.
Fantastic. Vince, I want to open this up to you if you have any questions.
So, Mr. Walker, I heard you say there's 50 children enrolled in this year's summer camp.
Yes.
Okay. Is that number up or down from last year?
That number is up.
Okay. Good to hear. Glad to hear that there's more kids getting involved in the summer camps.
Yeah. Was a tremendous help with AmeriCorps, with them giving them people to help out for our summer camp this year. So it allows us to open up a little bit more this year. So.
Okay. Good to know.
Sean, where are you holding the summer camps? This is for public knowledge.
At Memorial Park.
At Memorial Park.
Yep.
Any projects that you're going through with it, or are you letting the counselors handle this?
Yeah. Would you say again, Bonnie?
Okay. Are you letting the counselors dictate what's going on as far as activities go? Or do you have
I have a lead person in Kristen George. She has handled a lot with that. She previously worked at the YMCA doing her summer camp, but she is also a student at Lycoming College. And this is the field that she is taking up while in college, working with youth. But she has a lot of great ideas, a lot of fun field trips for the kids this year, but also a good staff behind her that will help out tremendously.
Fantastic. When you okay, that's what I wanted to ask. What is the price for the summer camp and the hours?
So the price for the whole summer camp is $360. You can either do that out front or you can pay weekly, which will be $40 a week. And the hours go from 9 to 4 p.m.
That's a full day.
It is.
Yeah, that also includes a lunch too, doesn't it, Sean?
Yes, breakfast and lunch is provided by St. Paul's Church. They have been with us the last couple of years. So they do a breakfast for the kids, and they also come back and do a bag lunch for the kids also.
Fantastic. And this also includes going into the pool, entrance into the pool and things like that, right?
Yes, yep,
But it has nothing to do with the splash pad, right? It's just strictly
No.
the pool, right?
just
'Cause
strictly the pool, yep,
we didn't want to transport and have that kind of expense.
right.
And do you have in front of you the cost of pool? How much it is to get into the pool and, with family, a family pass and things like that?
So nothing's really changed since last year. Family pass is 200 for 4 people, $5 additional for a season pool pass. On a daily pass, far as adults is $5. Students are 4. Senior citizens are at 3. Any kids under 2 are free. And if you're a non-swimmer, we also charge a fee of $2 for you to get in the pool.
Oh, fantastic. And no problems with opening up the pool at all? Any, leaks or anything to that extent?
No, nope.
And the splash pad, is that all going well with that too?
Yeah, that's a little tweak that we got to do with it, but it was running well this past weekend. And like I said, it's a little bit of tweak, nothing major with that, but it was definitely a hit this past weekend.
How many people would you say were at the splash pad?
If I would count from back and forth, and I wasn't out of there a whole lot, I do have a girl that I have working out there. So I would probably say over the weekend combined, very close, maybe 80 to 90 people showed up.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's great. That's great to hear. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, are you thinking of doing any kind of programs at the pool? And I'm going to throw this at you, Sean, just, for you to roll around in your mind, okay? Years and years ago, the pool used to have like parties at night, okay? Night parties. They would have a radio station DJ come in and do music. They would have a couple of theme parties and, it brought extra income into the pool. Did you ever think of doing that again, or would that be a real big challenge right now?
There's always definitely ideas as far as that pool and doing certain events there. But it comes down to our financials as far as our budget with the pool and our lifeguards. Like right now, we're at a standstill that our lifeguards get no overtime whatsoever right now because of our budget. So that's one thing that kind of hampers those ideas.
Okay. Okay. How are we doing with lifeguards?
We have 8 lifeguards this year, and we have 3 cashiers at the pool. And of course, Kim Whittington is back as the lead at the pool. So we're good. We have 3 on standby just in case one goes on vacation or some leave early to go to school or find another job. So we do have 3 on standby, but they're not like in the budget yet. So
We really do well getting our lifeguards because you hear from other cities that they have a hard time finding them, which I'm pleased about.
right.
And is really, really good. So everything's going pretty smoothly at this point. That is great. I mean, you have your program set up and everything.
Yes.
Is there anything anything else you would like to discuss with us?
At this point, nope, just getting ready for a big opening on Monday with summer camp and a big opening this weekend with the splash pad and the pool.
Okay, and you're announcing these things online, social media?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And what else was I going to ask you? Sean, I can't think of what else. I'm one right out of my head. Everything is going really well. Oh, that's what I want to ask you. Is Aaron back with the food truck? Aaron's
I am talking with Kevin about that, just making sure he's up to date with his everything, so he can be back at the pool. So me and Kevin will sit down here and talk very shortly, and then that would probably be a yes if everything is good on Kevin's end, that he will be back with the pool, doing concessions there also.
I think he did pretty well last year.
Yes,
So it would be a positive. And also, it takes care of any drinks for the kids and things like that and snacks.
yes.
So it would be really, good to have him back. Sean, I think you're doing really well. It sounds like the summer is starting off with a bang, and I'm really pleased that we don't, and let's knock on wood that everything is okay with the pool and the splash pad. And this weekend, I hope it goes spectacular. Um, and I'm really pleased, and I want to thank you, Sean, because you did a really good job here with the kids.
Thank you.
Vince, anything you would add to this at all?
No, thank you, but Bonnie, it sounds like you pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, we're really pleased with it, Sean, that we have somebody that's taking charge and doing what should be done at the pool. Maybe we can talk about other programs with a budget to do maybe some special events there, Let's see how things go, all right?
Yep,
A special event could bring in more money if it's done
right,
correctly.
right.
But I'll talk to you later about that, okay, Sean?
Okay,
Okay, thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Next item on the agenda is I have Scott Livermore and Bill Scott here from Streets and Parks and our engineer. The reason why I asked you guys here is because, like I said in the very beginning of this, we start getting calls from the public as far as if there's going to be street repairs, anything that's going on that's going to be a detriment to society, and their travel expense, their travel experiences. And and we all get it every year. And I wanted to see if we can at least give some answers to this. We realize that over the years, if there's something that comes up, a street that needs to be repaired because of something that was not planned, that sometimes other streets are shifted to the following year. So I'm going to open the door for, let's see, Scott, would you like to start this?
Sure. Yeah, this year we are doing some paving work. Thursday, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, we open up the paving contracts for the lowest bidder, or the bidders come in.
Yes, Thursday, June 6th, 1 o'clock right here.
So Bill and I was out, we have a list of streets. We're not going to really talk about those streets yet because we have to know where our numbers come in, whether we add more to our list that we have, or we have to take some off. We're not anticipating on taking any of the ones we chose off, but we don't want to put that out yet because I don't want to tell somebody we're going to pave the street and then we had to do some adjusting and we couldn't do it. So the only street that I can really say that we are going to do is going to be Little League Boulevard right now. But there is 6 on our list that we have picked out that we plan on doing, and we're hoping they come in low enough to where we can add a few more to that list as well. But we're always, and the other streets that we do, my guys, obviously we have our own small paver in-house. Every year we do as many alleys as we can get done via the budget. So that's always going to be up and going as they come in. Bill, I don't know if you want to add anything. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. I mean, we have a base 6 streets we're looking at, getting some paving done. Like you said, hopefully the bids come in good, and maybe we can add some to that. But we'll find out Thursday.
So we'll find out Thursday because we don't know who's going to be doing what to whom at this point yet until the 6th, which then we'll
Right.
know. And that doesn't have anything to do with Little League, does it? Little League Boulevard? Is
No. So we have a separate, our paving contract separate from Little League Boulevard. These six streets or more are funded from liquid fuels, right, Scott? Little League Boulevard is a CDBG funded, totally separate project.
Correct. Yeah, usually every year we get a portion of CBDG money, which is right around 350. I fund 350 out of my liquid fuels, and we take some out of Act 13 and also out of general fund, which throws us right around 1.1 million every year. But this year is going to be a little different. CBDG's funds are going strictly for Little League Boulevard, and I'm taking the rest of the other 6 to potentially more streets out of my liquid fuels this year. So, we're looking in the upwards of 650 to 700,000 out of the other funds.
I don't see Mike Miller here. And that was the other thing too. Are you working do you know if Mike is doing anything with the water authority, with any streets?
So we do know, these 6 streets that we're paving, they're already, the utility cuts are done in those. That's why we're doing them now. We don't expect any, unless an emergency would come up, of course, but other than that, no, there'll be no conflicts with utility cuts on those 6 streets. I can only say that.
I think like anything else that we've been doing in the past couple of years is making sure that we work in conjunction with the water authority, that we're not doing double work if there's half street and the need could do a whole street, so on and
Right.
so forth. And I think
Right.
that's why I'm asking, because and with them also, they never know when an emergency is going to come up and they've got to shift gears immediately. So, I just wanted to make sure that that was happening, that we're still working really well together. I don't think there's anything with PPL at all. Do you know if there is, Scott?
You mean UGI?
Yeah, yes, thank you. Why did I say PPL?
I don't know what their plan is this year. I haven't touched base with them much. But yeah, like you said, back to your point, we're working closely with the water authority. They kind of have their list. We got our list. I know in the past, we usually followed them around, but we had discussion, we always can't do that. So we try to give them our streets, and if there's anything that they need to do on that before we move in, we're anticipating on starting these in September, I believe, is what we're shooting for, to try to start the paving. So that gives them the rest of the summer to take a look at the streets and see if there's any jobs that they need to do before we get it paved.
Terrific. That's the only thing I think that, that I think we've really done well with in the last few years. That we're not doing, spending double money on things, because we are working together. UGI at times does give us can be a little bit more difficult, but I think most of their things are, it's not like it was, several years ago where they were all over the place.
Right.
I think maybe they're more or less done. But other than that, I'm glad that things are working well with the water authority. Vince, do you have any questions?
No, no, I'm just gonna, even though I won't be present at Thursday's meeting, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for some low bid numbers.
Yeah.
God knows we need a lot of paving.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that the bids are low, and the companies are companies that we know that are really good. So I think that's where we want to be at this
Bonnie,
point.
I know you had mentioned Mr. Miller. I think he just signed in.
Okay.
You're muted, Mike.
Are you there, Mike?
He's still muted.
I'm here. Sorry.
There he
Hi.
is.
We had
Hi,
the wrong-
Mike. Were
We had
your
the
ears
wrong
burning?
link. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to send it to Eric so we can get the engineer here. Okay. I should be back.
Okay. Mike, were your ears burning? Because we were just talking about you. We were talking with Scott Livermore and Bill Scott as far as what's going on with paving with the streets and everything. And they say that they work really well with you guys as far as what you need to accomplish, and hand in hand, which
Sorry.
that's okay. Go. It's okay.
Absolutely. We're working very well. We are trying our darndest to stay out ahead of you guys. I know if you have the public watching today, you will not see a lot of activity from us this year. We are working more so, as I consult my notes, with a lot of our bigger infrastructure projects in the plants and in the watershed. So this is a year for us where I think you guys are doing Little League Boulevard, paving a good stretch of that. We don't have a lot of infrastructure conflicting with you guys there. So we are working this past year on doing construction in our watershed on our dam towers. So we have towers. It's like the drain in the bathtub that we can adjust the levels in our two reservoirs. I think you guys may know that the Water Authority has two 530 million gallon reservoirs that are located up in the mountains behind South Williamsport, where we get our water sources. So we're working on those valves there. That's one of our bigger projects for this upcoming construction season. We've been chasing the grant funds and doing the engineering on replacing a spillway up there. So that's what we have on the water side. On line replacement, I think the public in Williamsport will see us working on Almond Street. So we'll be trying to get ahead of you guys there on Almond Street. On the sewer side, again, we're working in areas where the public won't see. One of our bigger projects is a belt press replacement in the West plant. I don't really want to go into all the gory details on that, but we're replacing a dewatering press in the West plant. So that's a bigger project that benefits everybody. If you want to hear more about it,
details, Mike.
What's that?
That I appreciate you sparing the details.
Yes.
You're gonna squeeze the crap out of it.
That's pretty much literally what we were doing there. So yes. And the public may see we got some grant funds. We're going to be chasing a lining project up on Reach Road. So, up our industrial district, we have a sewer main up there. That area for us doing our pipe replacement projects is very sandy. So if we dig down, you see there's a propensity for the trenches to collapse or to slide in. So we are going through and we're going to be lining that main to continue to provide reliable and dependable service to our industrial district. So that is the high altitude overview of what we've been up to over here across the street from you guys.
Well, I just wanted you to come in and discuss, because a lot of people don't realize this, but we do get a lot of people listening to these meetings, and it's a good way of getting the information out. And and that's why I did this, so you don't think it was a waste of time. Plus, it also gives us a chance to see your lovely face again too. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's been working real well. We like working with the city, with Scott and Bill. Works out really well. They let us know what projects they're up to. We see what we have to do out ahead of them, because I've been a city manager, and one of the things that I hate doing is tearing up a newly paved street. So when you have a project going in, we want to be there ahead of you, make sure that everything is fixed up so that you're putting down fresh pavement on top of reliable infrastructure. So it's one of my goals, is never to bother you guys.
Which is fantastic. We try. You've been doing a good job of this for years, and it has. The cooperation between the city and you has been really well these last few years. And I know the city doesn't want to do that either. Tear up something because it wasn't, planned differently. But anything you would like to add to this, Vince?
I have a question, which may lead to multiple questions. Mike, I heard you're going after some grant funding. I hope that you're successful in that. It sounds like you are. Speaking of going after grant funding and talking about expanding infrastructure, have you guys been successful in looking or going after any kind of grant to expand and go a little bit further out with your service? I know Williamsport Water, we produce lots and lots and lots of water. I think our water actually is the standard in which the quality is measured. Am I correct there, Mike?
Yeah, we have a high quality water. Part of that going back to the fact that we have that 10,053 acre private watershed with our two reservoirs. So we get very, very clean water from the start. We have looked at expanding our service area. Ways to go would be out towards Woodward, Hyatt Township, Jersey Shore Way. That would be one way. Another way we could go would be up through Old Lycoming Township and north of us. So those are things that we've looked at. Have we pursued grant funding for that? Not yet. Those will be very big, expensive projects. And then those municipalities we would be tying into, we would want them to be contributing as well. So it keeps a fair and parity between our current ratepayers and the people who will be getting our infrastructure. Your
Right.
point is very valid because what we have is we have a filter plant that is capable of producing 12 million gallons a day. And we are currently using about 5 million gallons a day. So we have a surplus of 7 million gallons of water that we could use for our businesses, for our industries, or for expanding to other areas that do not have the dependable water that we have. Generally, our area is very well blessed with good water. We have excellent water and lots of it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I remembered hearing that we had a lot of water capacity that we still were not using. And as far as the quality of water we had, that it was I don't want to say, don't nobody quote me, exceptional, but very high quality water, like you said. So I would just hope that we're able to get more of that out there. Okay.
And
Thank you, Mike.
It's also, we have the lowest cost as far as to our customers, to their customers. It's good water, and if you look at the scale of what their water bills are, I think, they'd be really surprised if they looked at other cities. And the Water Authority's been very conscientious about that over the years. Yeah.
You are correct, Bonnie. Our water rates are some of the lowest around. It's very difficult to find anybody who is charging less than us. And that really is a credit to the board of directors here in the city of Williamsport prioritizing keeping those rates low, because it's a critical piece of infrastructure that we use every day. It's an essential service that everyone uses. And we want to keep that affordable for our residents.
Fantastic. I have nothing else to ask except, Mike, your stuffy that's behind you, maybe you can share that once in a while with other departments.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah,
That is. All right.
I didn't realize it was on there. It's a hat that somebody got me. And yeah. So, there's many jokes to be made, none of them appropriate for this venue. But yes,
All I want to know is, have you worn that hat?
well, you all see my big giant bald head, so it doesn't necessarily fit me as well as it should. But yeah, I will not put that hat on presently. So some of
No.
maybe if we meet at New Trail or something, I would wear that hat.
Sure.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Mike. And
Scott, we got to get you a hat.
yes, well, for anybody that's working on the streets, it's like, oh my God, you know what you get into. Is there anything, the last thing on the agenda is any related items. Is there anybody that's here that has anything to add?
Bonnie, I'll add that we two culverts, Hillside Avenue and then the Wayne Avenue, Lynn Avenue culvert. We shotcreted them last Friday to give them new surfaces, basically almost make them brand new, to be honest with you. Especially the Hillside Avenue culvert. We shotcreted the interior of that and the upstream and downstream riprap areas. So that culvert was it had some issues, some serious issues, but now it's like brand new. And the Wayne Avenue culvert at the outlet down at the lowest far stream end, that was all shotcreted, the wing walls and the ceiling and the legs there. So that's all brand new. There was exposed rebar, a lot of spalling, scaling going on, some structural deficiencies there. But it's all taken care of, and they all turned out well.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. And I know we really haven't had that many problems, thank goodness, again with Graffius Run either this year, even though we've had the rain. It's been, because I think we all watch that, especially us that live in this end of the town. So, pleased that that's working out okay yet, but it still has to be addressed and corrected, But other than that, what's going on, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Want to thank you all for being here today for the conversations. And like I said, this was done mostly to keep the public informed of where everybody stands. And if they have any questions that they can get in touch with either council or the departments. So, but I want to thank everybody for being here today. And Mike, thank you. Scott,
Bonnie, if I may.
sure.
I'm sorry. But just real quick, you mentioned Graphius, and I did have a question for Mr. Livermore here real quick, and Mr. Scott, it may tie into you. But you know, we talked about Graphius and that we haven't seen many flooding issues or anything, any kind of issues. You know, we put in the new sonar, the new early detection system. I'm assuming that it's working well, it's paid off, we've been able to get out there, get ahead of everything.
Yeah, no, it's working real well. I mean, the bad thing is the only time to test it's when it's coming up. So
Yeah.
there was a couple of sleepless nights there to make sure the testing went well, but yeah, it was alerting us throughout the night there. I think here in the spring we had a couple of high events, but it detected me when it was I think I have it set for 18 inches and we were out there and got it back down. So yes, it's working real well, actually. So
And then just to follow up with that, is this an event that you could or would say would have been a flooding event had we not had the early detection system that we put in?
I would say the one at our backhoe at the school, yes. Because we ended up picking somebody's roof off the grate that came down and swung sideways, and that's why the water jumped up as much as it did, as quick as it did.
Wow.
Piece of tin come down and cover it. So yeah, I mean, it could very well could have happened. Yeah. Yeah, we were probably within, like I said, we were within 4 feet of coming over, but that's the whole point of this thing to detect, letting me know as it's coming up. There's 3 different levels on that. There's one at 18 inches and I have it set for 20 and 24 inches. So it sends me through 3 different notifications like, hey, it's time to get going. So, but we hit them all at the first sensor and the first level and everything turned out good. But
Great. I'm sure, you know, everybody, you know, in the area of Graphius Run, it certainly probably has a lot of your gratitude that you don't get a chance to hear from them, but
yeah,
believe me, I know they're grateful.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Anything else? If not, we will see you. I don't even know if we'll see you Thursday. I don't think there's anything on the agenda. I don't know. But anyhow, have a good week and I'll see you, Vince. Oh, no, I won't. You're not going to be a council. So have a great week, guys, and thank you for all the information. Very helpful for everybody. Okay, y'all take care now.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.